What's going on, everybody? Just doing a review slash commercial for my sponsor, Trophy Room Taxidermy. Probably does the best work in the area here. So just get a nice close-up of the sign, that way you guys got the phone number and everything, and check out the review. Here it is. I really hope that the camera can actually do these mounts justice as far as all the detail can go. Some nice up close footage of these deer heads. It's just unbelievable how realistic these things are. Just phenomenal quality mounts. Another thing he's kind of famous for is here these action shots. So, you know, something like almost like it's like a scene, you know, something going on. There's a full life-size mount right here as well too. These are pretty popular. Saying this because he's my sponsor. This is probably one of the coolest duck mounts I've ever seen before in real life, or in you know, things I look at on the internet and whatnot. And you can see it actually looks like it's taking flight, and you can see the water ripples and all that kind of stuff too. So I mean, just excellent quality, very good detail. How's it going, everybody? It's Ryan from Wisconsin Outdoors, just here with my sponsor, Jim, at Trophy Room Taxidermy. So we're going to kind of give you a little guided tour and show you what separates him from your traditional taxidermist. Alright, so Jim, can you tell me a little bit about what are some good ways to bring a deer in here? You know, what are the kind of proper procedure? You drop a trophy out in the field. What do you want to see done before that's brought in here?
Well, the first thing you want to do, especially if it's warm out, is get the deer caped as soon as possible.
Okay.
Take the cape off the carcass, and if you can, at all possible, either refrigerate it, freeze it, or if you don't have access to a refrigerator or a freezer, then you would want to get it salted as soon as possible. Salting kind of locks the hair in place. Okay. A lot of hunters don't realize that field care plays a big part in what the finished product will look like and the quality of the finished product, the tan. So field care is very, very important. If it's a hot day, you want to actually take care of that trophy as soon as possible and not let it hang around.
Don't drive around with it in the back of your truck, show it all your buddies for a month, and then bring it in here, is what he's trying to say.
Don't drive it around to the bars.
Yep, exactly. So now I'm out in the field, and I've dropped this big trophy buck. I've taken it in, you know, I've taken care of it properly. I've got it in here right away. What's the next procedure from there?
Well, the next procedure would be I would cape the skull out of the head itself, and I would split the lips and turn the ears, split the eyes, get it flushed, and then I would salt it right away, and it would dry. And I can show you an example of what a hide like that looks like.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's go take a look at it. Alright guys, so this is what the hide looks like in the drying process here. Jim, can you tell me a little bit more about what's happening and what's going to happen?
Yeah, right now this hide is being salted, and it's been fleshed. The lips have been split, the nose has been turned, the eyes, lids have been turned, and the ears have been turned. Eventually the cartilage is going to come out of this ear, and it's going to be replaced with a plastic ear liner, which will replace the cartilage in there. If you ever see a mount hanging in a bar or something, and the ears are all shriveled up and they look kind of funny, that's because the taxidermist didn't take the cartilage out and take the time to put this plastic ear liner in.
Absolutely. Not everybody's doing that, are they?
Nope. There are guys that use a Bondo method. I myself used to use the Bondo method years ago, but the cartilage, the plastic ear liner is the way to go now.
Okay.
Bondo used to be the method people used to use. It was a quick, easy method of taking care of the ears or mounting the ears, but it's the ear liner is the better way to go. So
Perfect.
that's the way I do them now. And this hide here, salting locks the hairs into the follicle, pulls the bacteria out of the hide, and locks the hairs into the follicle. You can see it's pretty crispy right now, but I can rehydrate this hide just before the tanning process. It gets rehydrated, and then it goes through the tanning process.
Alright guys, so we're back out here in the showroom, and what we're going to do here is Jim's going to kind of show you some of the main differences between something that you get done in a shop professionally, you know, something with some good quality work done on it, and maybe something that is more of a budget mount. You know, some of the guys that are doing it in the $300 range, that kind of thing. So Jim, what are some of the main differences, and what are some of the things that you noticed that you see? And to be honest, this is a mount that he's fixing right now that was done from another taxidermist in the area here. So yeah, go ahead and Honor, explain some of the things that, some of the main differences that you notice on these mounts.
This particular mount here was brought in by a customer, and I had it mounted. I'm not really sure what they paid for it, but the guy who mounted it did not do a very good job, because if you look at the eyes, there's a lot of shrinkage around the eyes. There's cracks.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but this is split right, pretty much down to the mannequin there. Yep.
If you look at the nose, the nostrils don't go very deep. There is no septum in the nose.
Yeah.
The nose is cracking on the outside.
Yep.
There aren't any nodules on the outside of the nose. The lips are pulling away. Here's an example of one of the ear liners coming out. There wasn't enough glue put in that ear. You can see the seam on the back.
Yeah, and I don't know if the camera is going to do it justice, but I mean, you can literally see right down to the mannequin, and hair is pretty much falling off of it. So
yeah,
that's just one thing.
This is a budget mount. Guy probably didn't pay very much for it, and it's only like 5 or 6 years old. It's not that old. And then if you take a look at this mount here, this is one I did. The ears are nice and thin. They're not pulling away. There's no shrinkage around the eyes. There's no shrinkage around the nose. The eye has a nictating membrane in it. The nose, if you look, I don't know if you can get a shot inside that nose. There is a septum in there. If you hold a flashlight on one side, you can actually see light out of this nostril here through the septum.
And that's what I mean, just an absolute amazing attention to detail right there. Yep.
Yep. And then the nodules on the nose.
Absolutely.
Anatomical correctness is anatomical correctness. And,
absolutely.
And
just for the record here, this one is about 4 years old, right?
Yeah,
just the same as the other one. So, I mean, it just really goes to show you that you honestly get what you pay for. I mean, you can get a budget mount done and that kind of thing, but you know, in 4 years you're going to have to pay to get it redone by an actual, you know, professional taxidermist. I mean, you might as well do something right the first time, you know.
This mount here is an example of what they call a pedestal.
Sure. Yeah. Let me try to get some of this in here. What I know there's different, you know, positions and things like that. What's the name of this position here that this
position is actually called a semi-sneak.
Semi-sneak. Okay.
And they do have full sneaks, semi-uprights, upright. If you want to pan over to this poster here, there's an example of.
Yeah, and this is going to be just, you know, all your different examples of, you know, what I guess position you want your head to be in, your, you know, the mount to be turned. So.
On the very bottom there gives you an example of.
So Jim, as I kind of walk by here, this thing keeps catching my eye. You want to give me some more details on this, and you know, kind of what all goes into making something like this, and how can a person go about doing something like this for waterfowl? Because I mean, this is absolutely unbelievable. Just the realisticness of it is just amazing. So what kind of goes into something like this? You know, when you're mounting something like this.
Well, this is an example of a green-winged teal, and then for the duck hunter who's looking for something a little bit different, you could get something like this done. Shows a little detail and splash as the bird takes off out of the water. If you
I
look
mean,
down-
even the algae and there,
Yep.
I hope you can see this, but there's weeds and stuff like that even under the water. It looks like you're looking right into a little pond or something here. And what is that? What is that made out of there? That water splashing up like that.
The water splashing is actually made out of it's called scenery resin. It's very similar to fiberglass, except for it's clear. Fiberglass resin is got a tint to it. This has no tint.
Just unbelievable. Excellent quality work. So Jim, just coming up here, taking a look at some of these fish that you've done here, you know, what are some things that are going to set you apart from another taxidermist? Something you might want to just tell everybody.
Number one would be anatomical correctness. There's all kinds of little details on a fish. The positioning of the dorsal fins, the caudal fins, the pectoral fins. If they're out of place, every fin on this fish has a place, and if it's out of place, it's noticeable instantly. So I strive for anatomical correctness in my fish mounts, and I guess that's the main thing that would set me apart from other taxidermists is the fact that I pay attention to detail and try to get the anatomical correctness in each and every mount that leaves my shop.